Bonjour. Et c'est un plaisir pour moi aujourd'hui d'initier ce point de presse, cette conférence de presse, où notre invité spécial est Christopher Knowles, à ma droite. Christopher Knowles qui s'est donné une mission de faire à travers le Canada une sensibilisation particulière au niveau de l'importance des dons d'organes. Je pense pour un jeune homme de 15 ans, il démontre un courage énorme. C'est un jeune homme qui est en attente d'une transplantation du foie. Alors, si on prend tout ça ensemble, le fait de son jeune âge, le fait qu'il a justement une situation où il est en attente d'une greffe, on voit le double courage de partir et jusqu'à date, on m'a informé qu'il a voyagé au-delà de 2900 kilomètres. Ça, c'est quelque chose que même moi, transplanté, je suis pas capable de faire. Alors, sans plus tarder, Christopher va vous adresser en anglais ses préoccupations. Je pense qu'il y a une mission. Il dit quelques mots de français, mais après la transplantation, il va devenir bilingue, right? So, Christopher, you can tell your story in your own words. The reporters will certainly understand you, and good luck.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Christopher Knowles. I'm 14 years old, and I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. I've been waiting 14 years. I've had over 20 operations to save my life. And about 4 years ago, my road manager, George Marcello, walked across Canada to raise awareness for organ and tissue donation. And I was at the Liver Foundation at the time, and I got to meet him. And he was talking about organ and tissue donation, and then he inspired me because I wanted to do a walk, the same thing he did, and he inspired me. So about 2 years ago, I asked him if I could do a walk across Canada to do the same thing, and sure enough, he said yes. And today is 310 of our 353-day campaign, and George can take over.
Thank you, Christopher. Christopher was one of the most amazing human being I've ever met. 4 years ago, as he stated, I met a young boy that seemed like your average normal boy. And it wasn't until the end of the day that he lifted up his shirt and showed me all the scars on his stomach and told me that he was on the waiting list all his life for a liver transplant. And I thought I just met the most amazing boy ever. Christopher expressed a wish to me that he wanted one day to walk across Canada, and his wish was to help save the 4,000 other Canadians that are on this waiting list. And after a couple of years of making sure that this could get done, we had to make sure that the school was going to be okay with it, his medical doctors were going to be okay with it, his family. Basically, I found out that the whole community was behind Christopher. On January 8th, 2004, Christopher's wish was kicked off from his hometown, Sarnia, and we started walking from Sarnia to Vancouver. And we completed the western leg. Recently, we began the eastern leg of the walk in St. John's, Newfoundland, and we're making our way back to Toronto. And Montreal is going to be our official last stop on November 26th. When we enter Ontario, we're calling that part of our campaign the homecoming. Christopher's wish is to help save nearly 4,000 Canadians that find themselves on this waiting list that need all organ transplants. Christopher's wish is to help also lobby the government, 3 levels of government, so that we can make the best improvements possible in our country. Sadly, Canada ranks as one of the lowest organ donating country in the world, although we do have some of the top medical doctors and have developed some of the most outstanding research developments towards organ donations. We still have the lowest organ donations. And what we are offering as a suggestion is to possibly develop the system that Spain is presently using, and it's called the opt-out system, where a registry would be created and Canadians would get the chance to opt out. We're trying to inspire the provincial governments as well, so that maybe one day this could be debated, and maybe Quebec one day could have itself a Quebec registry list. And we know that in a system such as this, that we would have a great potential to save much more people that are on the waiting list. And it is under that wish that Kristophers hoping that this develops, and we've had a tremendous impact along the way.
Merci. Thank you, M. Chabot. Est-ce qu'il y a des questions adressées à notre ami Kristopher?
Christopher, I mean, you are waiting for a liver transplant. You've walked more than 2,900 kilometers. What has it been like? Has it been difficult? It's getting cold out also.
Actually, it's been really fun. It's been a big experience for me. I've never thought of walking across Canada in my life until I met George Marcello. And so far we've had only one sick day, and that was in Vancouver at the end of our walk. I got a little bit of the flu. But other than that, I felt better than I was at home.
How much money have you raised at this point?
Well, we're not really raising money. We are raising money to get through the walk, to pay for our gas and supplies that we need. Like, we have a film director, Merle Roberts, who needs tapes, so we buy the money that we raise. As well as we are selling these flags. We didn't bring them up here, but we're selling these flags for $10 to help us. But it's mostly awareness, or it's mostly to bring aware of organ and tissue donation, and encouraging everybody to sign the organ donor cards, as well as let their family know about their wishes.
What sort of a response have you had from the different levels of government?
We've got a very good response. I've been to every legislature's building so far, and we've got a response pretty much from everybody, and mostly the community, because in our things we are hitting the schools and the kids. They'll be going home, talking to their family. And at the starting of this, I wanted to hit the schools, because they're the ones that are going to be getting their driver's license and be signing those cards. So they'd be the ones to talk to.
Just to correctly answer that question, Christopher's Wish has generated 700 media stories. He's visited 200 schools, where he has directly reached close to 500,000 students thus far. He's visited 175 communities. Basically, when he enters a community, the whole community knows about Kristophers' arrival, and the awareness and information about organ and tissue donation gets that much more heightened in each one of these communities.
Merci. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions?
Monsieur Cusano,
Oui.
où en êtes-vous avec votre propre...
Mon propre projet de loi est à l'étude présentement au comité de législation et ça sera bientôt, on me dit que l'étude va être terminée et ça devrait être positif.
Tell us in English about your bill?
Well, bill basically, what the bill will do is that when a Quebecer will have to renew his Medicare card, there will be on the form a space whereby he will decide at that time whether or not he's a donor, so that he will have the time, because usually you take more time filling out a form when you renew something than when you receive a little in the mail. When you do receive your any kind of card, your credit card and all the other stuff that comes along with it, people don't pay any attention to that. So the idea is to make sure that there's 1.5 million Quebecers each year, because they renew, our renewal rate is 1.5 million a year, so that they will go through the thought and the gesture. The bill provides that if the individual has indicated that he consents, the card will then contain an embossed symbol, letter or number, that will indicate to the hospitals that there has been a signature to that effect, and at the same time it will contain a sticker And if that sticker is removed by the individual at any particular time, it means that for whatever reason, and I do respect the wills of the individual, that if a person does change his or her mind, he can therefore remove that consent. It's in French we've been calling it un consentement éclairé, which I think is extremely important, and it will eliminate an awful lot of problems in terms of transferring of information from the individual to the hospital by going through with that bill.
Monsieur Cusano, peut-être en français, ce double consentement-là, vous pensez que ça va faire augmenter le nombre de donneurs?
Moi, je pense par le fait que la personne aura à se prononcer au moment où il renouvelle sa carte de membre, sa carte d'assurance maladie. C'est très différent de recevoir avec une carte, présentement avec la carte de santé, de recevoir de la publicité pour les dons d'organes. On a tendance aujourd'hui, on en reçoit tellement de ces choses-là, de ne pas y porter beaucoup d'attention. Alors le fait que c'est fait au début, lorsque la personne fait sa demande, par la suite, une fois cette demande est traitée, la carte de santé aurait sur elle-même un sigle en relief pour que justement, vous savez que je suis un organisateur, hein, c'est bien important de s'assurer que les choses fonctionnent. Et alors, en ayant un sigle en relief sur la carte, lorsque votre carte santé passe à l'hôpital avec ce qu'on appelle communément le clic-clic, n'est-ce pas, votre volonté qui a été exprimée, qui apparaît sur la carte, automatiquement est transférée au niveau des dossiers de l'hôpital. En plus, pour s'assurer qu'il y a un respect de l'individu au niveau de son choix vraiment éclairé, il y aurait un autre collant qui serait affiché sur la carte. Et à ce moment-là, si pour n'importe quelle raison, parce que je crois beaucoup à la liberté individuelle, c'est la liberté de la personne de vraiment pouvoir faire le choix et de décider ou changer d'idée à n'importe quel moment, là, à ce moment-là, il y aura seulement qu'à décoller l'autocollant et ça veut dire que le consentement a été retiré.
Vous allez augmenter le nombre de donneurs?
Je pense que oui. Je pense que oui, parce que le fait qu'il y aurait 1,5 million personnes qui vont être obligées de lire cette section-là, là, parce qu'ils vont remplir le formulaire, puis alors il va y avoir une section qui va toucher justement le don d'organes, où il va y avoir 3 questions. Question numéro 1, je consens, l'habituel au don d'organes, je ne consens pas, ou je ne suis pas prête à prendre cette décision. Je pense que ça va faire réfléchir au moins 1,5 million personnes par année au Québec.
Si je comprends bien, les données à Transplant Québec indiquent s'il y a de la difficulté à trouver des gens susceptibles de recevoir une greffe, on dit qu'il y a 900 personnes en attente, puis il y en a eu seulement à peu près 500 qui ont bénéficié d'une transplantation.
Oui, le problème, c'est justement au niveau du nombre de donneurs potentiels que malheureusement ne fonctionne pas de façon dont il devrait fonctionner. Vous avez la question que je me suis posée depuis des années. Comment se fait-il que dans certains hôpitaux à travers la province, on reçoit d'un hôpital 10, 12, 15 donneurs et dans d'autres hôpitaux, 0? Alors, si on prend tous les hôpitaux que nous avons au Québec, et particulièrement aujourd'hui, où le fait de l'âge de la personne n'est plus un facteur. Vous savez, il y a 15 ans, on pensait que pour être un donneur potentiel, il fallait mourir d'un accident de motocyclette quelque part, puis avoir un jeune de 16, un corps d'un jeune homme. Aujourd'hui, c'est plus le cas. La science est avancée au point où c'est que nos transplanteurs nous disent, indépendamment de l'âge, Dr. Doyle ce matin nous disait qu'il avait été chercher un foie dans une personne de 80 ans là, pour le transplanter. Si le foie est en bonne santé, il est en bonne santé, point. Alors, il faut toucher beaucoup de gens, il y a certainement de l'éducation, et je crois que par le fait qu'une personne aura à se prononcer au moment où il fait sa demande. On touche 1,5 million de personnes par année. Je crois que ces personnes-là vont être beaucoup plus sensibilisées que le fait de recevoir présentement avec leur carte d'assurance maladie, c'est un petit feuillet qui dit, bon, si vous voulez faire don d'organes, c'est signé l'autocollant, puis vous le mettez à l'endos. Mais le problème, c'est au niveau des donneurs, c'est au niveau aussi de l'organisation. Vous savez que le Dr Couillard a présenté un plan d'organisation sur tout la question de l'organisation des dons d'organes, disponibilité des salles d'opération, et ainsi de suite. Il y a beaucoup de... Parce que vous pouvez avoir des patients qui sont des donneurs potentiels, mais à cause du fait que dans certains hôpitaux, l'organisation n'est pas en place à 100%, c'est que là, le donneur peut ne plus être donneur dans le sens 3-4 heures par après parce qu'il dégénère. Alors, le plan Couillard qu'il a présenté l'année dernière est un excellent plan. En ce qui me concerne, et du côté du consentement qu'on va lui chercher avec la loi, moi je crois que le Québec, qui est à la tête du peloton en ce qui concerne le nombre de donneurs au Canada, le Québec est à la tête, mais même si on est à 19-20%, moi je pense que, en tout cas en ce qui me concerne, je n'arrêterai pas ma cause avant d'arriver à 40%.
Kristopher, if his life is threatened by the fact that he has not a new liver?
Yeah. For the past 5 years, they've taken away pretty much everything that I can do. They took away my sports because if I get hit the wrong way, I could die. So they took away my sports, and the doctor said that I'm better on the road than being at home. Playing with my brother, playing sports, like I just said. And so they've pretty much taken everything away from me because of that.
He has undergone 20 operations in the past 14 years to keep alive, and some of these operations were life-saving operations and innovative operations. He is being banded right now, 49 bands. He's probably the most banded human being in North America. He's got an incredible will to survive. That is why he is here today. That is why he's not dead. And even the doctors are amazed. He's been called a miracle many times in his 14 years. And that's why we feel with Kristophers' campaign that a lot of hearts and minds and eyes and meaningful discussions will arise about bringing about a better system here in Canada. So Kristopher and many other infants like himself do not need to die because there's enough organs to go around for everybody.
Any estimate how much longer Kristopher might have to wait?
It's hard to say. His tenacity to survive is so strong, and that's what keeps him going. If he didn't have this tenacity, he would be dead. Like, if you looked at him from a medical point of view, he should not be alive. He's got an incredible spirit inside. He will not let the disease win. And that, when I met him the first time, I basically dropped everything in my life to get behind him on this campaign because I knew he was going to have an impact on the whole country, and he has been, and we feel that through Kristophers' campaign that we are going to get some changes, and the potential to save everybody on that waiting list will become a priority.
Stan, you also walked across Canada. What inspired you to do that?
Well, basically, when I received my transplant in '95, I had 2 days left to live. I received a liver transplant, and there was hours left in my life. I was fortunate enough to have gotten that call and received that liver. I was out of the hospital in a week, and when I was going back for my outpatient visits, I would meet with about 40 or 50 patients that were waiting for organ transplants, and I would talk to them. And the sad part is that I knew half of them were going to die, and I knew maybe one or two would be the last time I'd be talking to them that week. And what what left me after I'd leave the hospital with the feeling that why is this happening in Canada? You know, why are so many organs going to waste when people do want to donate them? You know, why is this happening? And something had to be changed, and something had to be done. And that's why I walked across Canada. I just became obsessed with this idea, and that was about 7 years ago. And then I met Christopher, and from coast to coast, we are meeting Canadians that agree with this, you know, that agree that we should make these changes. And I have not met one person that has anything against organ and tissue donation. So then why aren't we at the top when it comes to organ donation? Presently, our system that's in place is preventing from that to happen. It's a prehistoric system. We need to update it and improve it. And that's what Christopher's wish is all about. He's ringing the bell.
Thank you.
Merci. Can I ask you, Christopher, where do you find this energy?
I don't know, I couldn't tell you. But what's getting me through this walk is all the people that I meet and all the people that have received organs or family members that have passed away and donating their daughters, sons, or brothers' organs, and that's what keeps me going. I met this one family in North Bay. The one day their house was on fire, so the family's house was on fire. So they sent a babysitter with their 2 kids, 10 and 7, to the beach. And the youngest one, 7-year-old, drowned as well when their house was on fire. So he donated his organs. He saved 8 people's lives because of that. And because of that issue, that's what's keeping us going. That's what's making us get through day by day. And stuff like that, stories like that make us keep on going.
Avant de passer à Christopher, dernière parole, je voudrais souligner qu'à ma gauche, vous avez quelqu'un, certainement que vous avez connu, M. Rene Chabot, qui était un des premiers au Québec à avoir, pendant une période d'1 an, un cœur totalement artificiel. Alors, je suis sûr que vous avez l'opportunité, par après, de lui poser quelques questions, mais puisque Christopher a un agenda extrêmement chargé aujourd'hui. En passant, on lui fait faire une visite du Parlement, mais c'est une visite qui est rarement faite. C'est des endroits insolites du Parlement. Alors, s'il y en a qui voudraient l'accompagner, je pense que vous allez trouver ça beaucoup plus intéressant. Alors, pour le mot de la fin de cette conférence, Christopher, tu veux dire?
Merci de votre encouragement.